to document an important event in your life, such as a sporting event or a birthday party. Maybe you use your camera to create an entertaining short film. If the latter is true, then you're like our guest today. He has seen the world through a lens for years. To him and others like him, the world is a stage. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Heather Molina, to meet the new directors.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved in this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling, audio, operating, camera, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you're about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 3 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they're working on, and give the chance to you to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Today, we're about to meet someone who enjoys his time behind the lens. As a bartender, a part-time comedian, be usually putting on a show. With use of camera, he's able to create a show. While at NCC, he has taken part in numerous TV classes productions and has enjoyed the education in film he's receiving from this department. We would like to welcome James Millette. Hi.
Thanks for having me, Heather.
Great. So compared to your knowledge of film before, what are your inspirations for making film in the past?
Well, in the past, a lot of my inspirations were what I like to do. So I was go out at nighttime, go into the cities, basically just take a camera with me when I was partying with my friends. It accounted for a lot of good footage that I could look back on my past and remember. However, it didn't account for a lot of good footage. It would dig up my memories, and it's something that I have as a keepsake, but as you can see with some of my footage, I mean, I didn't have my lighting correct. I really just tried to capture the moment without thinking of really good ways to do so from the sight through the lens. Now, with my inspirations, it's more of my composition and what it is that I can capture on film. Not really the people I'm capturing or the party I'm having, but the story I'm telling. I mean, I look back now and it's just like, it looks like just kids playing with a camera, and I mean that is what it was. When edited correctly, maybe there are some good shots. In fact, here you see we're trying to portray the fact that you're falling off a balcony. Probably not the steadiest cam hand, but you know, nonetheless, a very, very fun video to make. This is my buddy Tommy walking inside of his apartment. We tried to do some artistic things, but compared to what I know now, I wouldn't do it over the same way. My inspiration then was just what I did at nighttime, the nightlife. I've been able to open my eyes a lot through the film department here. It taught me that I can stay away from what's comfortable and jump into what's uncomfortable, which we'll see further on in the show. This is my buddy Yona here, just capturing a nice shot of him. And some of my friends. This is actually my birthday about a year to 2 years ago. It's my buddy Tommy telling us how the whole place is really nice, IKEA through and through. That's about it. Just fun times from the past.
That sounds great. So why did you decide to take the TV production course?
I do have an aptitude for filmmaking. I really like to just get hands-on and involved with creating stories. I mean, I could sit there and read a book, but I'd rather sit there and act a book and have the story come to life. So I find that through the use of camera and a team, working as a team with people, it's just a very good way to put your own words on paper, or even someone else's words on paper, or take them off the paper and make them jump out at you. I'm a hands-on person, and it allows me to do my thing.
Yeah. All right. So what are some of the most useful things you've learned in this class?
Some of the most useful things I've learned would be elements of composition, learning more how to use my camera. Before this class, I was not aware of how to do a shift focus, how to manually focus in on images, and you know, draw your eye using different lines within the actual scene that you're looking at to really draw your eye to a subject. Different like just a lot of different elements of composition, basically. I've also learned that working as a team is a lot harder than you would think. I mean, you have to make sure that everyone that you work with you can depend on, and everyone you know, is as capable of doing their job as you are, and vice versa. I mean, if you let your team down, you feel bad and your team's going to feel bad. So I've learned a lot about teamwork and really using a camera for all that it's worth.
Yeah, very nice. So tell us about your projects. I know you worked on the sequence, the campus story, the fall foliage.
Yep. Well, the sequence was one of the first projects I did for the class. I guess this was really getting to understand how to make action come to life, how to continue your shots, have a good continuity throughout your film. This one was a simple elevator ride. It was really early into the semester, so I was getting to really learn some of my cuts. Oh, see, right there, might be a little bit off, but editing wasn't on point, but I captured the general idea that I was going for with it. This here is my fall foliage project. Fall foliage was very interesting. It really captures New England for what it's worth. During the fall, I wanted to portray a sense of things are dying. Life isn't really as abundant. However, new lives, like there are certain lives around. Like for instance, you're going to see ducks pretty soon. I mean, they're gathering what they can for the end of the season. The water is brisk. And this one is my campus story. I was able to portray how it's about a heckler who gets chased down through the school and gets taught a valuable lesson. It's to support your classmates and not to berate them. This was actually a lot of fun to make. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I know one of these projects was the best, and you consider it the best. So would you want to talk about it while we roll some footage?
Sure, definitely. My favorite one to make was the campus story, for a lot of reasons. The actors involved were my stepbrothers, and those little guys are really funny dudes. They were so easy to work with. You didn't really have to direct them or tell them how to act. They're brothers, naturally. They know how to interact with each other, so it's pretty funny. The story that we had a little mini action sequence that we used at the end, and that's what you're going to be seeing a clip of. So it brings it back to the very beginning of the project, coming back in the end, or beginning of the semester, coming all the way back full circle to the end, using that action sequence guidelines and the principles to really convey a message here, or to convey the story. It was so much fun, and it really lets you expand the campus story. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of restrictions, so you really get to dig into your own mind and your own imagination and creativity. It's just a fun project overall, and I think, you know, it's when you start editing and adding music to it and adding all the different effects, you just have a really good time. So I mean, not only was it fun to make, but it was fun to work on, and the end result's going to be great to show my family. So
yeah, I imagine. So what would you like to create next?
Next, I'd probably like to do some minor editing for people, whether it's their birthday parties or bar mitzvahs or whatever they have, some home videos, just to brush up my editing skills and to really hone in on them. And then after that, I don't know. Anything you want me to do. I'm open to suggestions.
All right. Today you met someone who hopes to continue. He studies in film and media. He plans to continue taking TV classes and eventually become a film editor, staying behind the camera instead of in front. We would like to thank James for joining us today. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks, Heather. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed meeting some of the television future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch their progress. Thank you and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors, with your host, Heather Molina, directed by Nikolai Andronescu. The New Directors is a Norwell Community College student production